Good morning, traders and investors around the world, and welcome to Thursday's edition of PreMarketInfo.com, where we prepare you for the most important hour of the day. After yesterday's sell-off, Dennis, we got a 21-point range in the S&Ps this morning.
Heck of a range here, Joel. We down and then overnight, same thing. We get propped up overnight. So I don't know who props it up overnight, if it's all based on Europe or if there's other participants that just seem to like to move it when the liquidity is its thinnest. But we always wake up and the market's way up.
Way up and sometimes way down. We were able to
even yesterday we were way up. But, then all of a sudden, obviously, fundamental news kind of took over there, during the open, so.
And also when we got real bullish during our market mover show. Clopex low got down to 1222.75. That was a couple points below Thursday's low. So if you were buying yesterday's low, you got some handsome profit there. Upside target 1250.75. That would take us back up near the double close that we had on Monday and Tuesday at 1249. Globex high stands at 1243.75. Really don't have a relevant number around that area. If that holds as the high of the day, we have a downside target of 1215.17. Got through the 1240 area. We're back under that now. I kind of use that as my swing area earlier in the session. And you can't look for a test of yesterday's low until we get to the 1233.25 level. Moving on to the Big Ten, you did get some movement in Apple yesterday, subject of another upgrade. Just kind of meandering here between 390 and 396. Really, where it goes in between there, and here we are at 393 is pretty much anyone's guess. I guess I'd keep a real close eye on Thursday's low, which is close to the close at 390.23. If we break below there, we could probably head down to the low for the week at 386.
Stock still keeps holding on, though, even, with a really big down day yesterday. That stock up on the day, obviously the upgrade helping it, but relative strength is still pretty decent in Apple, and I think that 400 area is still kind of giving it acting a little bit like a magnet as it keeps trying to pull it up towards it. I'm still wondering we're 7 points away, but I think eventually it may try to test that 400.
Okay, Exxon Mobil was able to get above the yesterday's close, not by much, making a high at 80.85. Actually, that was below Wednesday's close. So we're trading 30 cents away now from yesterday's high, so you expect some resistance there. Coming back on the downside, we had talked about that 79.50 level yesterday, a couple lows in there. We snuck down to 79.55 on that late break, so had to be pretty quick to get it there. But looking below 79.55, we can run into some problems, but it looks safe for now. And above yesterday's high, 80.86, I'd be looking for the highs of the week at 81.64 to 81.86.
Seeing a little bit of size at 81, so that could provide some resistance as well. But I'm going to limit my comments further because I do have a trading position in Exxon Mobil.
Okay, IBM didn't make a new all-time high yesterday. Pity. Only got up to 193.80, where it was just shy of the close. Sold off again, got down to the 191.07 area, but really they get down to that 190.32, supported by the 190 area. Coming back above this 194.90, the all-time high. Really not much in there. Kind of would use 193.80, though. We're still $1.60 away from there as your first stopping point.
195 too. That's where the size was in the book. So for whatever reason, we started to march up again. That 194.90, which is the old 52-week high, will be enormous, even backed up by size at 195.
Okay, Microsoft, just kind of a tight day again yesterday. Couldn't quite get down to Wednesday's low and couldn't get up to Monday and Tuesday's highs there. Kind of just in the middle here, and Microsoft is trying to find some direction. I will note that, it's had four highs this week, Monday through Thursday, basically that 25.70 to 25.87 level. So these rallies here met with stiff resistance in the Microsoft. don't look for a breakdown in the stock until we get through Wednesday's low at 25.33.
It's trading up a little bit here, 25.55, so up a little bit with the overall market. Obviously, Texas Instruments weighing a little bit on some of the tech stocks here this morning, as they had pretty bad guidance there last night. I think you're right, Joe. I think you get up into these upper 25s. It's just sellers up there. It seems to be, the last 3-4 that high just gets met with sellers. So I'd be a continued seller probably in the high 25s.
Okay, Chevron Corporation just got over settlement a little bit yesterday. Should have good resistance at 104.80. This stock's not really trading up that much, Dennis. Doesn't seem to be affected. Is it bid higher, or is it just, I see it 102.30. It's really not trading up that much. Holding above the 101.95 level, which was Thursday's low. You'll find support there, and probably run into some resistance starting at the 104 up to the 104.5 area.
One trade, 100 shares went at 102.30. I think that just a little bit out to lunch, that trade, because it is bid 102.66. Best offers at 103, so it's not showing a lot of strength, but it is showing up that it's going to open up a little bit higher than 102.30 if it stays in this area.
Okay, J&J, kind of a quiet day yesterday as well. Couldn't get down to the lows that we had on Tuesday and Wednesday, the 63.26 to 37 level. 56, so you have real good support in the mid 63s there for J&J. 63.87 close should be your first temporary support, since we're trading up 57 cents. And actually, we are moving up, approaching Wednesday's close and Thursday's high to 66.45 levels. So of the few stocks we've mentioned so far, this one is opening into the previous day's high.
And $65 is just enormous on this, which is, we've talked about that seller up there, 160,000 shares, some more at 64.90, so somebody may be leaning on that. Definitely going to see resistance in the 64.80s and 64.90s all over the place. Yesterday's high, I agree, Joel, will probably be your first stopping point at 64.45. Gets above there, then I'd look to sell.
Okay, Procter & Gamble, after taking care of that big seller yesterday at 65, looks like someone came back in and liked that level. That held as Thursday's high, so we never even sniffed the close on that. Sold off through those three lows we had at 64.50, but not by much. Got to the 64.30 level before getting a pop late in the session. So I really can't be looking to hit this stock hard until you break down below the 64.27 level, which is the 5-day low, and excellent resistance at the weekly high so far at 65.50.
Yeah, 65.50 is the big number on this, 80,000 shares up there. That's what put a cap on it there a couple sessions ago. 65 obviously seems to be some psychological number, or somebody keeps coming in and selling there. So I'd say use that for your first stopping point. After that, 65.5. So you'll see definitely resistance in the 65.40s as all those high frequency guys lean on that 65.5 level.
Okay, AT&T, after that kind of a weird close on Wednesday, closing at the high of the day, 29.40, big print there. Couldn't quite get to that level yesterday, high 29.24, so that should be your first stopping point on the upside. Coming back, Thursday's low, 28.81 with the close at 86. We're only trading a few cents away from that level. Should be good support. Below that, we're looking to test the mid 28s.
Yeah, and on the upside, 29.24. So agree with that one yesterday. That's the high. Resistance will start there. Resistance all the way up, all the way to 29.50. So anytime this thing gets above 29.20, it just seems to be met with sellers up here. So you got about 30 cents worth of resistance.
Okay, moving on to GE, kind of a quiet day, buoyed by a couple upgrades earlier in the week. Made a high at 1665. We haven't approached that level yet in the pre-market. You got good support here in the 16.25 area, which was Thursday's low up to the close. It just kind of looks like GE could be range bound today, maybe the 16.30 area, and perhaps testing the waters up in the high 16s. Tuesdays and Wednesdays high at 16.83 and 16.92.
Yeah, we'll continue to say, I say that your swing trading range on this is the low 16s, the upper end is in the upper 16s. So really for you swing traders up there, you probably want to look at being a buyer in the low 16s and being a seller in the high 16s.
Okay, and moving on to our final component, kind of meeting a wall of resistance here. You had all the highs for the week so far in Coca-Cola between 67.02 and 67.25, up 42 cents now, so we're going to be opening right into that resistance. Don't get too excited if it gets through there, because you have the 5 and 6 day highs only 30 cents above that at 67.55 to 58. Coming back on the downside, you have the close as temporary support, 66.73. Below that, Thursday's lows were quite above the earlier lows in the week at 66.14 to 66.20. So things just seem to be consolidating here, Dennis. We did get a break, but they really did not inflict much damage on the Big Ten.
Yeah, Coca-Cola here at 267.5. I've seen a little bit of size form in there, so that would back up your 67.55 area, Joel. Obviously above that 68 is huge for whatever reason. If we could take all that out, 68 is absolutely enormous. On the high 67s, there's high frequency sellers all over the place.
Okay, Dennis, we're up here, we're up 6, but really holding a tight range between 12.36, 12.38. It seems like the early morning buying is temporarily come to a halt. 12.43, the Globex high. See if we can get a test of that level. Coming back on the downside, we do need to hold this 12.33. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back shortly with market movers.